Hello everyone, welcome to my channel World of AWS. I hope you all are doing good. We are continuing with Terraform tutorial, and in this video we are going to discuss about module outputs. Okay, so revise the output values. So output values make information about your infrastructure available on the command line and can expose information for other Terraform configuration to use it. Okay, so suppose you have the output value here like IP, okay, and you have project A and you have written the Terraform code here, and you want this output IP to be used by project B, okay, but only the project B can refer this IP when if you have declared the output value in your project A Terraform configuration. Okay, so if you did not define the output value, so this IP will be not associated and not used by project B. Okay, so here we have taken the example resource. We are going to create one elastic IP and the domain VPC, and we are declaring the output value here, as you can see it, right? Output public IP, and we are attaching this to this EC2 instance. Okay, suppose we are attaching this to EC2 instance. So if we have declared the output value like this, then only we will be able to attach and get the value of the public IP, okay, of this elastic IP, and we will be able to use it further for further use cases. Okay, so understanding the challenge here, if you want to create a resource that has a dependency on the infrastructure created through a module, you won't be able to implicitly call it without output value. Okay, as I have already explained you here. So here we have the resource AWS EC2 instance, and here we have module that we are calling for this module that will create the EC2. Here we are calling that, and later on we are creating the elastic IP, right, and we are attaching the elastic IP to this EC2 instance, right, in this way. So accessing child module output, so ensure to include output value in the module code for better flexibility and integration with other resource and project. So we have to, whenever we are going to define the output value, we have to follow this format. We have to use module dot module name and the output name. Okay, so here we have the output, as you can see here we have output and we have the instance ID, because we want the output of instance ID here, and the value is AWS underscore instance that we have defined here, and the local name myEC2 and then ID, right? So how we can refer it? Here we have to use module, right, and the module name, that is EC2, right, and instance underscore ID, that the output value name. Okay, so this way we can define the output and we can use it. So let's go ahead and see it practically. Okay, so let me jump to the VS Code here, and I am going to define the output value for this EC2 instance. So let me write the output and name. I am going to use instance underscore ID, and value I am going to define it. Okay, so what value we have to use? AWS underscore instance, right, as we can see in the document. So AWS underscore instance, the local name, that is this, right, as we can see it here, right, the local name is myEC2, but in my case it's this, right, so this dot ID, right. So let's save this and go to the module section, that where we are calling this module. Okay, now we are going to define the resource block to create the elastic IP, okay, AWS underscore EIP, okay, and name I will keep as LB, okay, and here we are going to define instance, okay, and here we are going to use module dot ec2, okay. Let's go here, module and the module name and the output name, right? So output name, so what is the output name that we have defined? Instance underscore id, right? So ec2 dot instance underscore id, okay, instance underscore id, and domain we are going to attach it with VPC, okay. So let's define the domain, and that will be VPC, okay. We have to put it in double quotes, okay. So as we have put it here, now what we have to do, we have to open the terminal and we have to run it from project A, right? Because we have declared the resource block of elastic IP in the team A, right? So let's go to the cd teams cd A and let's run Terraform init, okay. So let me scroll it little bit up so that we can see the output values here. So let's run Terraform plan to see the what resources our Terraform configuration is going to create. As you can see, plan 2 to add, right? So if you scroll up, so the region is US East 1 and the instance type is t2.micro, okay, and the AMI ID we are able to set, okay. So let's run Terraform apply hyphen auto hyphen approve to create the resources. So let's go to the AWS and we will be able to see the instance now because we have already applied Terraform apply, right? So instance will be created soon here. So as we can see, the instance is here and the state is pending state because it's getting created and things are getting configured, right? So after the creation of this EC2, we will be able to see the attachment of elastic IP that we have created here, okay, and using the instance ID we are attaching the elastic IP to this instance, right? So we will be able to see as you can see here, module AWS EC2 instance this creating, module AWS EC2 instance this is still creating, and like it's also creating AWS elastic IP, right? And creation got completed. So let's go and explore, do we have the elastic IP attached to this instance or not? As we can see it here as public IP, right? And we have the elastic IP attached to this instance, right? As we can see it here. And if we go to the elastic IP block, we will be able to see one elastic IP, right, allocated, and let's click on this to see the more detail. As you can see here, allocated IPv4, association ID, and the region US East 1, and a lot of detail you will be able to see, right? So this is all about output values of Terraform module. I hope you found this video informative and helpful. If you have any query, any confusion, do let me know in the comment section, and do not forget to subscribe my channel. And if you are new to my channel, then do check out my other playlist as well. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.